One.
Okay, thank you, and welcome everyone to the Municipality of Thames Centre regular council meeting, Monday, February 8th, 2021 at 1 p.m. So seeing that everyone is here, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Are there any additions to the agenda?
There are no additions to the agenda.
Thank you. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? No, seeing none. Any announcements? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. So the consent agendas are received for information in one motion. Council members may request that one or more item be removed for further action. I'm just going to go through what we've got here. So we've got 5.1 regular council minutes, January 25th, 2021. 5.2 Thorndale Community Centre Master Plan Committee minutes, January 28th, 2021. 5.3 Thames Centre Special Events Committee minutes, December 10th, 2020. 5.4 Upper Thames Conservation Authority Board of Director minutes, 20th of November, November 2020 and the 4th. 5.5 is Upper Thames Conservation Authority Board of Director special minutes, would be again November 17th, 2020. 5.6 being MPAC's 2020 Municipal Partnership Report. 5.7, the County of Middlesex media release regarding an appointment for the CEO for Adelaide Metcalfe. And 5.8, the Municipality of West Nipissing to support Southwest Middlesex resolution for coordination of national railways and municipal drainage matters. Council, is there any one of those that you wish to discuss or pull out of the consent agenda? No? Okay, then I'm going to ask for the motion that the regular meeting minutes of, or the consent agenda of items 5.2 and 5.8 be received and filed. Okay, Deputy Mayor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Hunter, all in favor? Okay, and that the regular meeting minutes of January 25th, 2021 be adopted as circulated. Councillor Elliott, or Deputy Mayor Elliott, Councillor Heeman, all in favor? Thank you. So reports of departments, 6.1, report number F00121, Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund 2021 formula-based allocation. And I would believe this would be Ms. Grogan's report. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you again, Your Worship, and through you. My report is before Council, the purpose of which is to seek direction on the utilization of our 2021 OCIF formula grant. So that's the Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund grant that has been in place for a number of years. Considering project eligibility under the fund, and the anticipated overdraft in our stormwater reserve at the end of 2021, staff are recommending the use of the fund towards the stormwater portion of the King Street project. Are there any questions?
Council, any questions for this report? Seeing none. So there are two different recommendations. The first one being that report F00121 from the Director of Financial Services Treasurer, dated February 8th, 2021, Ontario Community Infrastructure Fund 2021 formula-based allocation be received as information. So a mover for that. Councillor Heeman, seconded by Deputy Mayor Elliott. All in favor? Great. And the next one, that the 2021 funding allocation of $473,268 be utilized towards the King Street Fairview Road to CN Tracks stormwater project. Looking for a mover for that. Councillor Heeman, seconded by Deputy Mayor Elliott. All in favor? Okay. Next report is CS00521, and this would be dissolving the Thorndale Community Centre Master Plan Advisory Committee. And I think we have Director McDonald to speak to that.
Yes, good afternoon. Through you, Your Worship, I present this report to Council with the main recommendations being to receive the report, secondly, that this committee has completed the mandate set forth by Council so that it is ready to be considered for dissolving. Furthermore, that the Community Services and Facilities Department assume the ongoing responsibility for the maintenance and upkeep of the facility. as well that the Treasury Department oversee any remaining donations and or fundraising matters for this project. And finally, that the clerk be requested to forward a letter to the members of the committee to extend council's appreciation for their commitment and dedication on the project. The one other noteworthy thing I'll mention towards the end of the report is that there'll be another report coming to council in the future once all of the final invoices have been received and processed, so that we can provide a full summary of cost to budget on this project.
Thank you, Director McDonald. This is a committee that has been together since 2014 in different varying shapes and forms. I think we owe a great deal of thanks to this committee. They've really pulled together and done a great job of getting a vision actually on the ground. And I know that we're all looking forward to being able to see this building being used. And it goes without saying that we're very proud of it so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And again, thanks to that committee. Anybody else want any comments before? Okay, Councillor Heeman and then Deputy Mayor Elliott.
I'd just like to comment that it's been a privilege to serve on the committee. And I think that there's been a tremendous amount of volunteer work and community input through this committee over the past 6 years. And I don't think that work will end just because this committee is dissolved. And I know that staff and council is still very open to hearing feedback and working to grow into the new facility that we've invested in. So again, it has been a privilege.
Again, alongside Councillor Heeman, I just want to, and Mayor Warwick, I just want to thank all the committee members, both current and on the previous committee, for the work and dedication they put forward. Seeing the community center as it is now is exciting, and I know how excited everybody is to get inside of it. It really was a community effort. When you look at the layout and what's in there, everybody had their voice was heard and put into that. And I really do want to thank staff, both CAO Henry, when he was our Director of Community Services, as well as Director McDonald and Devin and everybody in the Facilities Department who has worked and has advocated for this and has reached out to all our service groups. I know how important this community center is to the community, and the fact that all of the service groups were listened to and their needs were taken into consideration building this is a really big part of that, and I want to thank staff for that.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motions all tied up into this. And I'm just going to quickly read through them. That report CS 00521 concerning the Thorndale Community Center Master Plan Advisory Committee. We won't miss saying that over and over, I don't think, will be received for information. And that TCC Impact, having completed the mandate set out by the Council of Municipality of Thames Centre, shall be deemed dissolved upon the adjournment of this meeting. And that the TCC MPAC recommends that the community services and facilities assume the ongoing responsibility of maintaining this facility. And that TCC MPAC recommends that the Treasury Department oversee any remaining donations and or fundraising matters. And that the TCC MPAC recommends that the clerk be requested to forward a letter to the members of the committee to extend council's appreciation for their commitment and dedication to this community center while sitting on the committee. And Councillor Heeman, did I see your hand up to move that? Okay. Seconder, Deputy Mayor Elliott, all in favor? Great. Next, we have report number PWDR00121, which is Peterson Drain A, request for improvement. And who wants to speak to the Peterson Drain? Looks like Mr. Pitt.
That's correct, Your Worship. And good afternoon, councillors. The request for improvement here is an expected request. 2 months ago on the same Peterson Drain, we had a request for improvement. This is just another landowner that is also looking to improve their drainage situation and would like to join on the active petition. If there's any other questions, I'm able to help answer.
Anybody, council, any questions about this drainage report? Okay, so we have 3 recommended motions. Report PWDR 00121 of the Drainage Superintendent dated February 8, 2021, concerning a request received by Brooke Pope for a request to improve the existing drainage works be received for information, and that the petition submitted by Brooke Pope, the request to improve drainage works in relation to property located at Concession 3, Lot 15, former Township of West Missouri, be received and adopted, and that Mr. MP DeVos of Spreed Associates be appointed the engineer to investigate and prepare the necessary drainage report. Okay, so mover for this. Councillor Hunter, and seconded by Councillor Patterson. All in favor? And then moving on to report number PWDR 00221, section 76, varying original assessments for maintenance. And again, Mr. Pitt, this looks like a report from you.
That's correct, Your Worship. Due to the land watershed changes from the Foxborough subdivision, some of the municipal drains in the areas have been impacted, and their reports will need to be updated for maintenance purposes. This is just appointing a Spreets to take care of updating all the reports to reflect the changes.
Okay. Council, any questions about this drainage matter? Oh, okay, the recommended motion that report PWDR 00221 of the Drainage Superintendent dated February 8th concerning a request received from Craig Linton of Develop Pro Land Services Incorporated for a varying to the original assessments of the municipal drain reports impacted by the Foxborough subdivision development, which include the Elliott Drain, the Elliott Drain Outlet, and the Elliott Drain Extension, be received for information, and that the request submitted by Craig Linton of Develop Pro Land Services for a reassessment of the Elliott Drain and the Elliott Drain Outlet and the Elliott Drain Extension be received and adopted, and that Mr. MP DeVos of Spreed Associates be appointed the engineer to investigate and prepare the necessary drainage reports. And who would like to make that motion? Councillor Hunter, and seconded by Deputy Mayor Elliott. All in favor? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Pitt.
You're welcome.
So now we have report number PWES 00121, which is the 2020 Drinking Water Annual Reports. And it looks like Mr. Craven is here and ready to go. Welcome.
Thank you, Worship. Welcome, members of council. Before you is the annual reports for both Dorchester and Thorndale drinking water system. It's a mandatory annual report that are just sent out to the public or available to the public this time every year. There's inside the annual report, there's drinking water description, monetary expenses incurred over the year, reportable exceedances, operational tests such as chlorine sampling, bacteriological sampling, inorganic and organic sampling results. Just like to bring your attention to, I guess, probably one noteworthy point to mention in the Dorchester drinking water system. Every 60 months, a sodium sample needs to be is required to be taken. That sodium has to be anything reportable over 20 milligrams per liter is reportable to the ministry and the health unit. Dorchester's sample results came in at 28.2 milligrams per liter, and then a resample came in at 26.6, meaning it's reportable. The sodium is a natural occurring mineral in the Dorchester groundwater drinking water system. It's been consistent for 20 plus years. It just, we have to report it every 5 years. So as a result, to help let the public know about this, in the water bills, we put a London Middlesex fact sheet for sodium, just to let all the drinking water users know about people on sodium restricted diets will know how to handle the water. If there's any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
No other questions? I think it's pretty consistent from year to year. I would say is that we always have that little uptick of the sodium, little uptick of the fluoride. So, you know, it's nothing that we haven't seen in all the other years. It remains constant. So, I guess we're just lucky to have minerals in the water. All right. So we have a motion in front of us that council receive report PWES 00121, 2020 annual reports for the Dorchester and Thorndale drinking water systems for information. Looking for a mover? Deputy Mayor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Heeman. All in favor? Great.
Thank you.
And now we have the mayor's report. So it's, even though we are on lockdown, it seems that you still are busy and you still go on with things. And it's not the same as meeting everybody in face to face. It's still business as usual. So January 19th, I attended the Kettle Creek Conservation Authority meeting. And then later on that day, I had a meeting, again, a virtual meeting with the ministers, Clerk and other ministers regarding the status of the vaccine rollout. And I think there's no need for talking about that. We all know where we're at with that. Later that evening, we had a second Middlesex roundtable, which involved members of the county council, having different ministers come in. So Minister McNaughton, Minister Urick, and Minister Elliott were all on hand to talk about what's going on across Ontario and any questions that some of our mayors and councillors of Middlesex had. It was a very good discussion, as usual, a good discussion. January 25th and 26th was the Roma conference, which again, very different, attending a virtual conference as opposed to being there in person. Again, a lot of the same topics that we see, from day to day, vaccines and internet and what we're going to do and working from home and how does it work. I led 4 delegations for SCORE, which is the South Central Ontario Region Economic Development. Talked to the Ministry of Labor, the Ministry of Infrastructure, the Ministry of Transportation, and OMAFRA. And those are always good discussions and interesting to see what is coming up with them and how we're going to be post-pandemic. January 27th, Kettle Creek Conservation Authority, I had the pleasure of being nominated vice chair. So I will start this term as vice chair of the Conservation Authority, and I'm excited about doing that. 7 p.m. later that night, I attended a session hosted by Karen Vecchio, where Michael Chong, Minister of Parliament, was speaking. And I think Councillor Heeman, you were in on that call too, and it was quite an interesting, varied group of questions that were being asked that evening. 28th, 9 a.m., I had a SCORE meeting, and again, I was pleased to be nominated as chair for the Southwest Community Transportation Committee, and I'll be looking forward to starting my duties in that in May. Later on that day, I had the pleasure, as well as other people throughout the day, because it was done by appointments, to tour the new daycare that was set up in Thorndale, the Angels Daycare, and what a need we have for that in our community, and what a pleasure it was to see a great repurposing of the former bank building to that. And I know that they'll be very successful by the looks of the interest in the community. January 29th, had to pop up to the community center because as it's almost getting the anniversary of the building burning down, there's more and more interest in how we are able to put up a building in 7 months and have it ready to go. So quick up there for an interview. February 3rd, we had our special events meeting for Thames Center, which short and sweet because there's not too many special events happening right now. It's pretty quiet. And February 4th, I'm sorry, Women's Caucus, the Middlesex Women's Caucus had another webinar where we had Holly McDonald, a therapist, join us and talk to us about the positivity of coming out of, things that have happened to area women in the pandemic. And it was quite an interesting conversation with a wide range of ages and lots of talk and lots of unique situations out there that I just, a lot of them are very sad to hear and how people are suffering. So it was a very good conversation and really helps us know what's happening out there. And I think that concludes my mayor's report. Thank you for indulging me on that. Unfinished business, anything to discuss? No. Any notice of motion? No. Okay, new business, 10.1, Town of Bracebridge Infrastructure Funding Resolution, January 21st. There is a recommended motion here that the municipality of Thames Centre supports the resolution of the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Bracebridge, requesting federal and provincial governments to provide immediate, broad, and substantial municipal funding opportunities for well-planned shovel-ready projects already prioritized under municipal asset management plans to provide immediate stimulus to the local, provincial, and the federal economies in order to rebound from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. that this resolution be forwarded to the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Canada, the Federal Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, the Honorable Premier of Ontario, the Ontario Minister of Finance, Ontario Minister of Infrastructure, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Association of the Local Member of Parliament, and our local member of provincial parliament. And that was it for that one. Did everybody have a chance to read through that? Okay. Any comments or questions about that? Councillor Heeman.
Worthwhile initiative. I think this is a worthwhile initiative because I think there's a lot of uncertainty about how the economy will rebound, especially due to, let's call it global uncertainty and traditional free trade. So I think it's important that we look at investing in ourselves and again, projects that we have demonstrated need for and community benefit. But I'd just be curious if we are fortunate enough to have an FCM representative in our mix, and I was wondering whether this aligns with some of the initiatives that they have ongoing as well.
Any other comments or questions? Other than the comment is you're on mute. Which I don't think ever was never one meeting yet where we haven't had that you're on mute. So who knows, we'll get a perfect score one day. No, it's going to be very interesting to see how we rebound. I just think that we're going to, you know, everything's thrown out the window and we're almost starting over again, and it'll be quite significant. So, okay. So we've got that new business. Can I have a move to accept that? Councillor Heeman, seconded by Councillor Patterson. All in favor? Okay. And then 5.8, the municipality of West Nipissing is supporting Southwest Middlesex resolution for coordination of national railways and municipal drainage matters. And I think that echoes throughout Ontario. There's a lot of basically, I don't know how to describe it, with a lot of opportunities where there's communication dropped between CN right now and CP and different municipal drainage matters. So yes, I would say that's important to support that. So, Councillor Heeman, supporting it. Yep. Anybody else? I don't know if we'll have to get a motion for this or it's just information. Okay, that was part of that. Good. So
Okay.
okay, we did it
Excuse
with
me.
that agenda, Tina.
Just a question on 5.8. Is there a motion to support this and circulate it, or is this it was received and filed with the consent agenda?
You know what? I think that's a one that we're struggling with ourselves. So yes, a motion might be useful to support this and circulate it. So Councillor Heeman, are you comfortable with that? Okay. Seconded by Councillor Hunter. All in favor? Thank you. Reports of departments. We've done that one. Back to this page. Now I'm looking for a motion that council move into closed session pursuant to section 2392C of the Municipal Act, being a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land with respect to municipal property. So mover, Councillor Hunter, seconded by Deputy Elliott. All in favor? Okay, so now we're going to go into closed session.
Your worship, we are live.
Great, council ready to go back into open session. At first, I need a motion that council rise out of closed session meeting held at 1:37 p.m. So Deputy Elliott, seconded by Councillor Heeman. All in favor? And now we're looking at two bylaws, 13.1, 10, 20, 21. Yep, sorry.
Just to report out, I believe it's on your sheet.
I just have recommended motion, but I can report out that council discussed a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land with respect to municipal property.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
all right, so I'm going to move on to bylaws. Okay. 13.1, 10/2021 being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw as it relates to lands located at 5042 Hamilton Road. And can we do the other bylaw together, or does it have to be separate together? 13.2, 11/2021 being a confirmatory bylaw. So looking for a mover for both of those bylaws. Councillor Patterson, seconded by Councillor Hunter. All in favor? Okay, and our meeting schedule, our next meeting is Monday, February 22nd, 2021 at 5 p.m. And now I'm looking for a motion to adjourn at 1:39 p.m. Councillor Heeman, seconded by Councillor Hunter. All in favor? Great seeing everybody. Have a good afternoon.